broadcasting live 4 days a week worldwide
from the sunny beaches of Southern California.
This is ExtremeHealthRadio.com.
This is Dr. Bradley Nelson, author of The Emotion Code, How to Release Your Trapped Emotions for Abundant Health, Love, and Happiness. You're listening to Justin and Kate on Extreme Health Radio. For more information about the Body Code, visit ExtremeHealthRadio.com/Body Code.
Want an energy boost? Try Pure Hawaiian Spirulina today and feel the difference. Save 25% off your Spirulina order today using the coupon code JUSTIN, JUSTIN, at extremehealthradio.com/Nutrex. That's NUTREX. Well, Kate, maybe we need to bring some magnetism into our office here. We just have some weird sound issues.
What was that little hiccup going on?
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
The sound went in one ear and then it left the other one, and God knows what happened to it.
And now we're back.
Thank
the Lord.
Amazing. So this is going to be a great show. I'm really excited. We're going to be talking to Maria Valdivia.
Wow.
I think that's how you say her last name.
We should ask her.
Yes, and this is going to be a really fun show. I'm really excited because we're going to be talking about biomagnetism and her journey with healing breast cancer. So This is going to be good. I love all this kind of weird stuff. I love the energy healing and emotional healing. I think it's just good stuff.
The more and more we journey, the more we realize, isn't that what it's all about?
Yep. We're watching a video with Dr. Joe Dispenza this morning, so along the same lines, good stuff. So this is episode, 267. And
it sure is.
Thursday, June 19th, 2014. So thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate that. And if you guys would like to support our show, all of our shows are free and archived, so you can listen to any of them at any time that you like. You can download them. But if you would like to support our work, there's lots of different ways to do that. But a lot of people do that through Amazon, and we are so appreciative of that. It just helps us so much. But the trick is just remembering. So if you can remember to make your purchases through our link, extremehealthradio.com/Amazon, every single time you make a purchase, that would help us tremendously. So thank you for that. It's just been such a great thing that you guys have been helping us out in that way. So we're really appreciative of that. And we broadcast 4 days a week live, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. So if you want to tell your friends, like Tana does in the chat room, she tells all her friends. This is
rounds
so
up
cool.
all her people.
I love it.
She's great.
Yeah, and so you can tell your friends that we're on live, and they can join the chat room and become a part of the community and just listen and have fun with us. So that happens at 9 a.m. Pacific every morning, except for Tuesday. So make sure to join us for those days if you can. And this is episode 267, like I said, and today we have a really great guest. I'm really excited about having her on, Maria Valdivia. I want to say Valdivia, but it's Valdivia. She's a practitioner of biomagnetism, and she's the first one to introduce this science to the United States. She actually opened her first office near Los Angeles in 2007, and she has her own history with healing her breast cancer, visiting some practitioners down in Mexico.
Wow.
Which is amazing. So I want to thank you so much, Maria, for being on the show today.
Oh, hi, Kate. Hi, Justin. Thank you so much for to have me today in ExtremeHealthRadio.com today morning, and of course to say hi to all the listeners today.
Oh, it's so great to have you on. We've heard about your work for quite some time, and so we were really intrigued, and so thank you for being on. And so in 2000, when did you actually get diagnosed with the cancer? Was that in 2004?
Was in 2004. I was diagnosed with specifically infiltrating lobular carcinoma in a stage 4 that was already spread to the lymph nodes in the neck side. And of course, my possibilities of survival was very low. I was very young. Cancer is related with age. Younger is the person is worse because the cells growing rate is so much higher.
Mm.
Wow. So say that again. If you're younger, that's a bad thing.
Because the cell growing rate.
Absolutely. That's why cancer in children is so dangerous, because of course their cells, they grow so fast. then at the same time, any cells, including cancer cells in children, because of their use, they grow so rapidly. That's why it spread cancer in children and teenagers so fast.
Oh, that makes sense. I never
Then
really thought about that.
At the same time you age, a person 70 or 80, it's so much easy to control those cancers. And usually surgical procedures, which means amputation of the organs, are more successful in those cases because their growing rate is so low, and they are on time to save their lives.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So there's something to do with the hormones or the fast turnover of the cells that causes young kids to, when they have the cancer, for it to be much more dangerous. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. It's related with speed of growing cells. That's why it's so dangerous in the childhood.
So go ahead.
So prior to this diagnosis, you were not in this field at all. Were you going about your life and just got a big wake-up call, and what'd you do?
Yeah, I was diagnosed in 2004, and I didn't have really too much possibilities. My treatment was based in what doctors prescribe was a double radical mastectomy, which means to remove both breasts, because in the lobular carcinoma only is experienced by just 10% of women that they develop breast cancer. Only 10% they have this deadly type of breast cancer, which is the lobular carcinoma, and is the most aggressive. Then based in statistic, doctors, they know that this cancer, for sure, in 80% of the cases, will spread to the other breast. That's why they remove both breasts. And of course, I was going to undergo to chemotherapy and radiotherapy and all those sort of things. And by luck, I was watching in a TV program in a Latin American country about the existence of a physician in the country of Mexico, in Mexico City, that he was in plain development of a new medical science called Biomagnetism, and that can address this disease very successfully.
Wow. And so just by, there's probably is no chance, right? But just by chance, you were just watching TV and you saw this. And so prior to this, were you open at all to alternative treatments, or was it a completely closed mind and this kind of changed your mind?
Well, I understand a lot about medicine since always. In addition, I am industrial civil engineer, and I love medicine since always, and I know a lot about pharmacs and pharmacology science. Then I spoke very straight with my doctors. I was a patient from Cedars-Sinai in Beverly Hills in Los Angeles, and the breast center cancer that exists there. Exists one department specific in Cedars-Sinai to address breast cancer. And the doctors, of course, they were very honest with me because they knew I know a lot, and I had like around 8% of survival possibilities.
Oh my goodness.
And that is equivalent to, we could say, pancreatic cancer, which is another one of the deadliest type of cancer is pancreatic cancer. Mm-hmm. Then, based in that, I decided, of course, to go ahead with something completely different because I didn't have too much to lose.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, did you tell people, and what did they say, that you're going to try this new treatment?
Oh, of course, they told me it was simply crazy. My doctors was excellent people. I have a wonderful memories about them and how compassionate they are, the way and how comprehensive is the way they work with people. They are very tolerant, but still they were telling me, if you don't do right away all these things in 8 more months, we cannot offer you nothing. Will be spread more and more, and you will not have any possibility. They implored me to me, and of course the person after that need to sign a document where release them from any responsibility of the outcome of the disease because of untreated cancer.
Wow, yeah, they have to make sure their backs are covered.
Sure.
Wow, and so at this time, I'm sure you're very scared, even though you hadn't tried it, but you were interested in biomagnetism. You must have been, going out on a limb there with your family and telling your friends and things like that.
Well, I spoke with persons that they were interviewing TV and they got cured with this system, and they encouraged me that in fact it worked. And that's why just a few days after I flew to Mexico, I never was there before. Mm-hmm. And it's a big city, I can tell you, almost 35 million persons. It's one of the big cities in the world. It's Mexico City. Mm-hmm. And I did the treatment, and instantly I start to feel better, and I trust this system.
Wow. Okay, so that's interesting. So you had a real deep belief and trust in what you were learning and this new therapy. Do you think that had something to do with your healing, do you think?
Yeah, all the time persons, they consider that when exists trust or you put your spirit or something, of course, could go in increasing effectiveness in any treatment. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you that really makes sense, the philosophy and the fundamentals here, and that's why I got so much trust. Exactly that year, for first time, the first book that was published from this doctor, his name is Dr. Isaac Goiz in Mexico. He's a pneumologist of the Autonomous University of Puebla in Mexico, which is the second largest after the Autonomous of Mexico in this country, and was published his book by the National University of Loja in the country of Ecuador, which is one of the best medical universities, medicine universities in Latin American countries. Then that year was published by a very prestigious university, the tumoral phenomenon, which is in fact all the theory and the basis of his biomagnetism.
Wow. So he's been doing this for a lot of years. What's his name? Dr. Goiz? Isaac Goiz?
Well, Dr. Goiz is around 73 years old man, and his father was a physician too. His son is a physician, David Goiz, and he discovered this in 1988.
Interesting. Wow. And so he's been working with it in Mexico City since 1988.
Exactly. Today's days exist is being taught by universities in Mexico, like the Autonomous University of Chapingo, which is a very centennial university, 150 years already, and now is extending degrees in Spain. The University Infanta Cristina in Spain released a master degree in biomagnetism today's days. Then, believe me, today's days is a very important science, and is being sponsored already by important institutions.
Well, Maria, before we get into a bit of what biomagnet, therapy is and things, you said when you went for your treatments, you immediately started to feel different. Were you feeling really horrible before you got to Mexico, and what kind of feelings were being replaced? Like, what did you see in those first few treatments?
Well, usually I was in very good condition. In breast cancer is like this. Most of the time, ladies, they feel kind of fine. Mm-hmm. But I was, feeling pain and discomfort in that area. And the most concerning for me was that the tumors continue growing or spreading even more. But the most amazing thing that for me was visible, and because I had 2 tumors and my lymph node in the neck side. Mm. And that I was going to undergo to radiotherapy, not only in the breast, but in the neck side, which is very delicate. And then the Dr. Goiz told me to do a new CT scan after 20 days arriving here in Los Angeles. And I went back to my radiologist, and he was laughing at me. Was a very prestigious radiologist, Center in Westlake Village. One of the best machines that exist. They are the latest technology. And he was saying, okay, you see, I will do once again the CT scanner just to make you happy, Maria, because here I receive ladies that they tell me all kind of sort of stories like yours. But after once, will comes out what will comes out. You need to face the truth and you promised to me you will do everything I wanted, and you should too.
Wow.
And we make a deal. But after those 20 days, I did the treatment. He called me personally, and I went to his office, and I say, where is the tumors? And they are gone. So I don't see it.
Wow. So you had another test to test for the 2 tumors that you had, and those were gone.
Exactly. And was the side more scary because was the metastasis in my case. That is, was a stage 4 because, in fact, I was having tumors in the neck side. That was the most scary portion. And then I told him, well, then this treatment has worked. And he says, I'm sorry, I am a doctor. I can't accept anything like that. And then I say, but I have just one question. You could make radiation still to my neck side in the way we program? He says, no, I can't. I cannot treat something, a tumor that I can't see. Of course not.
Oh, my goodness.
Goodness. So this was, what year was this?
This was exactly the year that I was diagnosed.
Diagnosed 2004. So what were you doing in your life prior to any of this? Prior to the diagnosis, what was going on in your life?
Well, I got married, and was something beautiful. And in fact, for one hand, was sad because I was short time married, and then I came out with this. Was very sad.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I felt bad because, you get married with someone and you come out with this disease. It's a heavy load over, you understand?
Yeah,
yes,
that's a lot of stress.
My very best friend had the same thing, actually. Well, not with cancer, but a diagnosis about a year into a new marriage, and it really is like undescribable.
Yeah, you feel bad, and it's unfair for the other person. Of course, my husband, we are all these years together, 11 years marriage, and we are so happy. He has been so supportive with this, but he suffered a lot. Was very difficult. In fact, my story after was written by a writer, Sandra Minier. She is a magister in education from New Jersey, and she wrote in 2012, was published her book, A Lighter Side to Cancer. She is a breast cancer survival too, and she promotes, in fact, that people, in fact, herself, she did alternative medicine. As a part of her treatment, she rejected chemotherapy, and she skipped that portion. And she put together 12 persons that they have very amazing experiences, and I am one of them. And right there is my story in this book that is A Lighter Side to Cancer by Sandra Minier.
A Lighter Side to Cancer. We'll put a link to that on this show page. So you didn't have any chemotherapy, any radiation, any of that stuff?
No, I didn't do the double mastectomy, the chemo, the radiation, in addition tamoxifen, which is they give for 5 years. Maybe many persons, they don't know, but tamoxifen or Femara, because changed name, was the first anti-pregnancy pill that came out to the market in 1950s in United States and was rejected by females because the strong side ever. And then they decide to give to cancer people based in just the guessing that eventually cancer is related with hormone production, which of course never has been proven. But even they give this birth control pill to men for the cancer male. It's kind of amazing, but it's the way it is.
Wow, that's amazing.
Maria, there's a couple gals in the chat room wondering if you, upon diagnosis, stopped wearing a bra.
Wearing a bra?
Did you continue to wear one?
Yeah, of course, I continue wearing.
Okay. Sometimes some of our guests...
some people believe that bra can affect... Well, biomagnetism is all about microorganisms. Traditional medicine really cannot cure the cancer because, in fact, they don't know quite well what it caused the disease. That's why it's incurable. And they have different guessing, including hormones or even genetic disorder, contamination, etc., etc. But biomagnetism is completely different because Dr. Goyce, he considered cancer is caused by microorganisms, which means virus, bacteria, parasite, fungus, and all of them working together. In fact, here in United States, biomagnetism, we could say, is a big science that started here in U.S. by Royal Rife in 1920s. In fact, in the area of San Diego, where used to be his laboratories, he was a very famous scientific, and he, in fact, was the first time, one important scientific of his time. He says, are virus the ones that they go into cells and they cause tumors? He was capable to see this process inside through his extraordinary, call it universal microscopic, created by him, and he was seeing with his own eye how to reproduce cancer cells under his microscope. And finally, at the beginning of 30s, he cured 16 cancer patients, terminal, in fact, cancer patients from the Pasadena hospital in those times with multi-frequencies, in fact, in inducting manner using magnetic fields. Then biomagnetism go back even to the 20th decades here.
That's just amazing. We're going to take a little break, but this is such good stuff.
We need to find out what this is all about now.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the Rife and then the biomagnetism and what it actually is. And after the break, I wanted to ask, too, after the break, about how many treatments that you had and whether or not you actually had this really strong belief about whether or not the treatment was going to work. So we're going to talk about that, what biomagnetism is, and there's a page on our website that talks all about the different situations that biomagnetism can help. And so really, really fascinating stuff. We're with Maria Valdivia, and this is episode 267, and we're going to be right back right after this break. Sometimes busy lifestyles and easy access to processed foods prevent us from getting all the nutrition we need to maintain our well-being. If you are in need of an energy and immune system boost, you have to try Hawaiian Spirulina. Hawaiian Spirulina is a caffeine-free way to boost your energy levels without the later energy crash. Pure Hawaiian Spirulina Pacifica is an easy way to support your health and is the most nutritious whole food supplement known to mankind. Cultivated on the pristine Kona coast in Hawaii, this superfood is packed with over 100 nutrients in each serving to support your natural energy levels and boost your immunity. Try Hawaiian Spirulina today and feel the difference. Save 25% off your Spirulina order today by using the coupon code JUSTIN at extremehealthradio.com/Nutrex, Nutrex. That's extremehealthradio.com/Nutrex. I have to say, I have been absolutely loving this product by Tristan Truscott and Peter Ragnar called Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong. If you want to listen to the interview we did with Tristan, you can go to extremehealthradio.com/127. And Qigong is a great way to de-stress the body. And as you know, there's a huge component to disease caused by stress. And stress is a huge factor in how we live our lives and the amount of energy we have and the amount of vitality we have. And so, Dr. Shade, what do you think about Qigong?
People come to me and they're really sick and they got this blown out neurological system and all this toxicity. And I tell them, you need to do Qigong, Tai Chi. You need to do these things that settle down and restore your neurology, because it puts together all the parts. It puts you back into that state where you can start to detoxify. And so I highly, highly recommend all that.
And what about you, Kit Campbell? What do you think about Qigong? Do you like it as well?
Qigong is amazing. And the reason that I believe it to be amazing is everything here is energy. That is a scientific fact, if there ever is one. So when you're practicing Qigong, you're actually drawing energy into your body. Your intention, whatever your intention is behind any action, will determine the level of energy, type of energy that you absorb into your body. So your intention behind is very important, just like thought. So when you're practicing Qigong, you're actually bringing energy in and you're bringing out the stuff that might be a bit stale. With Tai Chi, it's totally different. The energy runs underneath the skin because it's more of a martial. This is the Chinese understanding, by the way. It's more of a martial art. So Qigong is very, very good for bringing that energy into the body and just fantastic.
If you're interested in picking up this Qigong course by Tristan Truscott and Peter Ragnar, go to extremehealthradio.com/Qigong. That's QIGONG. And you can learn more about it. There's a great video on that page, and you can learn more about it on that page. And I highly, highly recommend this product. I love it myself, so go ahead and check that out. extremehealthradio.com/Qigong.
Listener supported. Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Don't forget to join our thriving community for health tips, inspiration, and show updates at extremehealthradio.com/Facebook.
Okay, you got your smoothie and we're ready to rock and roll, aren't we?
I know, I needed a little something at the break there.
Little pick-me-up?
Smoothie definitely fits that bill every morning. I love it.
What do you got in there? There's a lot of good stuff, huh?
Blueberries, a little bit of strawberry, a fourth of a frozen banana, some avocado, a little bit of coconut water.
Look at you go.
One World Way, and some algae.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
So this is episode 267. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We broadcast live 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific if you want to join the show. And let me just let people know about our upcoming show schedule. We've got lots of stuff going on. Tomorrow we have our Free For All Friday show, so you can always join us on that show. And then on Monday we have Robert von Sarbacher.
Great.
And then on Wednesday we have Tom Benedict, and he'll be talking about healing with stones. So that'll be interesting. And then Adam Bergstrom from Sunsync Nutrition. So lots of stuff happening here at Extreme Health Radio.
Got some good guests lined up, don't we?
Yeah, lots
Always
of good
a good time here.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Good
I
stuff.
learn a lot.
So today we're with Maria Valdivia, and we are just having a good time here talking about biomagnetism. And Maria, I wanted to ask you, how many actual treatments of the biomagnetism did you have after you were diagnosed?
Well, I was having going almost every week there to Mexico, and was around 10 sessions, something like that.
And so did you start to notice a diminishing of the tumors? Like when in those 10 sessions did you start seeing a difference?
Oh, absolutely. The person feels better, the skin become better, the mood change. I was absolutely sure was the correct thing for me. I know many persons, many listeners could say, well, exists emotional factor or the strong beliefs. Mm-hmm. But once again, I think to me makes sense. And I knew that traditional medicine cannot make it for me. And once again, as I say, the way I saw that the tumors in the neck side disappear, for me was the breaking point. And then I simply turned around and I left those places and I decided to do justice.
Gosh, you must be so excited looking back and knowing how toxic and how much chemotherapy affects the body. You must just look back and just be so happy that you never did that and you still walked away with the healing.
Well, in fact, many persons, they don't know, but chemotherapy is a pesticide. The one they use companies for pest control. And that's why they are. In fact, many of the components are illegal for farming in the United States, but they put into the body. It's amazing. Yep, because that's not, and at the same time, the traditional medicine cancer treatment is practically the same in the last 75 years. That is not really big change there. That's why I knew I need to do something different, and I went ahead with something that makes sense. Cancer now we know is caused by microorganisms, virus. They can penetrate because they are so small. They penetrate the membrane, the cell membrane, and they go into the nucleus of the cells and making alteration of the DNA. But they don't do those things by itself. They need bacteria that they need to do some kind of resonance and to produce mucus proteins in order that a specific virus require at the same time a specific bacteria to do so. Then this is not something caused by one just single virus. Is our cocktails or combinations. Mm-hmm. Now, thanks to these discoveries, placing magnets in what the doctor discovered as a biomagnetic pair, it's possible to destroy in an indirect manner the life cycle of microorganisms that they are causing this wrong reproduction in cells, and once they are killed, which of course happen in just a matter of seconds, the tumoral phenomenon decay, and no longer is necessary to remove tumors from the brain or remove breast or amputate prostate, etc., because the tumors, they lose the capability to feed themselves once all these pathogens are gone.
So maybe we could start from the beginning, just because I'm fascinated by this. How are the magnets used, and what's actually going on scientifically to make this all happen?
It's very interesting. Well, after Royal Rife, we could see here in United States was Dr. Goodhart that he discovered what he called the intelligent response. This was in 60s here, and which means that the body has the capability in the right-hand side length that become in a phenomenon of elongation or become shortage once the body is trying to express in certain areas something is going on wrong, which he called the intelligent response. That was taken after by Dr. Richard Brady Mayer in Kentucky, these ideas, and adding up a magnet negative polarity. And he placed the magnet in places in the body where he believes something is wrong, and then he see the intelligent response that in fact the leg becomes shorter in the right hand side. And all Dr. Richard Brady Mayer in 70s and 80s, he used to go to do different seminars. In fact, he gave one in Guadalajara in Mexico. Is in that seminar where will go Dr. Isaac Goyce, that he was younger in those times. And then is the point that he put together all these pieces that, as you see, are decades and generations of extraordinary scientific, and he came out finally with the issue, understanding that what he called the biomagnetic pair. For first time, in addition to the negative polarity magnet, he used the opposite, which is, of course, the positive. Then using both, he understands that when a germ go into the body, like a bacteria or virus, always will install in a specific place. That is, always will be there specifically for that particular virus or bacteria. Then placing magnet there is possible to neutralize them and to destroy them.
That's so wild. So how does he know what viruses and bacteria go to certain parts of the body? I guess through just trial and error, or?
Because of the intelligent response. That's why, as I say, this is a wonderful discovery here in U.S. and it's possible to determine using the leg, and then it's possible based in these biomagnetic pair places to recognize immediately which bacteria is like, I don't know, you know that in a specific address live a family, a Smith family, And then because of the address, you find out which family it is. You understand?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Yeah, because they will be in the same place. This is something similar to the animal kingdom. For example, you have camels in desertic areas. You will not find them in polar areas. Of course not. If you want, the same these white bears, Arctic bears in, of course, Arctic areas, and crocodiles in more jungles and tropical climates. And always how do they know which one is their best climate to live? Microorganisms, they use the same criteria. Because based probably in environment, temperature, tissues, etc., etc.
That makes a lot of sense. It really does. It really does make a lot of sense. So these viruses and bacteria tend to migrate and tend to be in certain parts of the body, and the intelligent response is what the work that other doctor had did that would allow you guys to know where in the body these viruses are. So then you have that, and then you're using the magnets. And what are the magnets doing to these viruses? Are they killing them or changing them in some way?
Yeah, this is all about another ingredient here is the concept of pH, that stands for potential hydrogen. Everybody knows about pH, which is a scale that can measure the hydrogen ion in any component or any fluid, and go in a scale that go from 0 to 14 at the same time. And numbers, they go lower, is more acidic, and at the same time numbers go up close to 14 is more alkaline. Mm-hmm. A healthy body should be at the middle, which is neutral. It's not either one or the other. The same than pure water is neutral, around 7.3. Microorganisms, when they go inside, they alterate the pH of the tissues where they will be located. And more at the same time, their colonies, they get bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. Then magnets, they transport once again, because of the magnetic field, they transport those hydrogen ions in order that in a matter of seconds or fragments of seconds, that extreme acidity or alkalinity due to their existence and metabolism go back to neutral point, and they cannot resist this sudden change in environment. It's the same that if you, for example, put a little mouse in a laboratory in a box, in crystal box, for example, and then you can remove the oxygen from that box. Obviously, that little mouse, of course, he will die naturally, because one element essential for his life is oxygen. Mm-hmm. Then a sudden change in environment, of course, destroy life. And in this case, for them, this sudden change in pH kills them, and at the same time, in virus, they lose their DNA information. Then no longer they can be aggressive.
Wow. And so do the viruses lose their DNA because of the change in pH or because of the magnet, do you think?
Well, the magnet is changing the pH. Okay. And once their environment, they get destroyed, in fact, they cannot be in resonance with the bacteria, which is essential for them to perform their tumoral phenomenon. They cannot work by itself. They require bacteria. Then it's so much better than even to use tons of antibiotic to address bacteria. Now it's possible with just a couple of magnets to address something that you require 1 month taking antibiotic.
That's amazing.
I have a question, Maria. So from what I understand, what you're talking about, the pH component of this, and then if you look at the Rife machine and things like that, that's more of like a change in frequency, right? So that certain diseases cannot exist. What would be the benefit of doing one versus the other? Can they also be used together to really knock out diseases?
Yeah, Kate, it's very interesting, your question. The difference with the Rife machine is that we go into the legal system in U.S. Any machinery in United States, wire or wireless, require FDA approved. And the Rife machine, amazing when even shaving machines, they obtain FDA or laser machine, but the Rife machine never has gotten, and I don't think so ever, FDA approved. That's why all these things to sell this machine is, we could say, under the table. But the use of a small, natural, low-intensity magnets are absolutely out of the FDA, because, in fact, anybody could have at home. These are in an open market. You can purchase any store, retail store, small magnets. It's like almost the one you stick in your refrigerator. Then small magnets are something that anybody can have at home or purchase, making this the only one, maybe, treatment that is not based in drugs and, beverage or medications that, once again, any medication need to go through FDA, making biomagnetism something extraordinary, because then can reach the society easily.
I love this. This is really empowering stuff. We're going to take a little break right now, but when we come back, I'm curious to find out, where people can get some of these magnets, and, how people can go see a practitioner, maybe perhaps what they have to learn in order to use these magnets. Really, really.
And also maybe get into a list of the things that it treats.
Yes.
And maybe that it can't.
Yeah, I want to learn about some application of these magnets. It's really, really powerful stuff. I love just the idea that it makes people more empowered and gives people more power into their own hands. They don't have to go. This is just one more tool in the toolbox, I think.
I agree.
Of natural healing and options and things that could work for people. So really, really fascinating stuff. We're with Maria Valdivia.
You got it.
I got it right that time. Valdivia. And this is episode 267. And we're going to be right back right after this break. The history of heat therapy dates back over 2,400 years. And it was Hippocrates who said, "Give me the power to produce fever, and I will cure all disease." This FDA-approved medical device called the Biomat is a mat that you can lay on, read on, sleep on, do yoga on, sit on, and it can be used on office chairs, massage tables, and the like to help the body heal itself. It's inlaid with 30 pounds of healing crystals using amethyst and a rare black tourmaline, producing negative ions in a healing electrical field. These healing crystals help to restore cellular health by replacing electrons to the atoms, as well as penetrating deep into the body by 4 to 6 inches. What can the Biomat do for you? It'll improve your skin, burns as many calories as if you went jogging for 30 minutes. It improves the immune system by up to 40% or more, reduces stress and fatigue, removes toxins, lowers cholesterol, relieves pain, revitalizes cellular metabolism. It improves cell channels to deliver nutrients and oxygen to every one of your cells. It activates over 3,000 enzymes. And even a Harvard medical study showed cancer cells die at over 42 degrees Celsius. It reduces stress hormones by up to 78%. It allows your body to produce heat shock proteins, which increases endorphins, NK cells, T cells, and lymphocytes. It's very, very low EMF, and it's got a 17-layer technology. Dr. Mark Serkis is the director of the International Medical Veritas Association. Explain to us more about these biomats.
These biomats are these far infrared mattresses. You lay on them, or you sleep on them, or both. You do very heavy treatments during the day, and at night you sleep at just a nice comfortable temperature. These biomats are like these love machines, comfort machines, and healing machines, because what they do is they just radiate out light, far infrared light, and you can radiate yourself all night long while you're sleeping when you're not doing anything else. And what happens is this light penetrates the body and turns to heat. And the first thing that happens when you bring your core body temperature up 1 degree is your immune system strength increases by 40-50%. They feel when you lay down on them, you guys know, you have one. So it's like the feeling is so good. It's like being in cuddling with a lover, your wife or husband. It's just warmth and comfort.
How are you using biomats for patients in your clinics?
You know, the cancer treatment using heat is very aggressive, meaning during the day, you sandwich yourself in between two of them, turn it on to high heat, and bake the cancer. The cancer will die before you will. No, this is, you know, you can go to England and spend $20,000 and use microwave a cancer out of existence. These biomats basically do the same thing. You know, radiation therapy for cancer is really a solid idea. Unfortunately, oncologists use the wrong radiation. They use radiation that kills you. This biomat uses radiation that can save your life and make your life more comfortable, keep you warm in the cold, and help take care of your kids and all, you know, the list doesn't end.
Yeah, because isn't there some sort of temperature at which cancer cells will start dying?
Right, and it's below the temperature that human cells will die.
So you really like this biomat far infrared technology, don't you?
But it's strengthened me. Well, now the kids are addicted to it. You know, they fight on who's going to sleep on it at night. And it not only changed my life, but it changed my medical practice and my books. This is a great machine for anybody who lives in the cold during the winter. Instead of heating a big house, you just heat yourself. Bottom line, it brings good feelings. Just lay on this biomat, and it gives the strength back.
I can attest to that indeed. Kate and I love ours, and we think you will too. Learn more about these amazing biomats at extremehealthradio.com/biomat. Or you could check them out in our store as well. Again, that's extremehealthradio.com/biomat.
All free shows, all the time on Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join our community today. Sign up to our email list and instantly get our free gift to you, along with loads of inspirational content and cutting-edge tips to help change your life at extremehealthradio.com/subscribe.
All right. This is another great episode, isn't it?
Good night. Always so much new information. My mind is just reeling.
So the magnetism is changing the pH, and then that's altering the DNA of the viruses, I think, and then that's causing the dying of the cancer cells because of the rapid change in pH. I think I'm getting this. This is good.
Yeah.
I want to learn.
Quite interesting.
Yeah. If you guys are interested more in her website, it's biomagnetismUShealth.com, and I shared that in the chat room too if you guys are interested, but I'll put a link to that as well on this show page, episode 267. And we broadcast live 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. If you guys would like to join the live show and ask your questions, if you go to extremehealthradio.com/live, you can listen to past shows and you can download past shows. You can join the chat room and look at our upcoming schedule, all that good stuff, extremehealthradio.com/live. And I want to let everyone know too, if you guys are interested in staying up to date with our stuff and our shows, our archive shows, all that kind of stuff, Facebook is a great way to do that. But even better than Facebook is to sign up to our newsletter list. And there's links for that. There's forms for that on our website down at the bottom, and we're going to put more forms up for you to do that. So just want to let everybody know about that. Facebook is kind of finicky with letting everyone know, all of our fans know what's going on for some reason.
I'm not definitely miss a lot, don't
I think
you?
they want you to pay to see all your fans, to get your message out or something. So
well, they're not getting that.
Yeah, they're not going to get that. So we're having a great time here with Maria Valdivia, and we're talking about biomagnetism and the magnets that she's using for her health. And so, Maria, I wanted to ask you, first of all, are you seeing patients in LA? Can people come and see you?
Well, eventually, yes. That is, I opened the first clinic of biomagnetism back in 2007 in Encino, California, on Ventura Boulevard.
Okay.
And I brought for first time this after I was like around 2 years after I got cured from my breast cancer. I decided the Dr. Goyski invited me to go to Mexico to study this with him. And I went back and I decided to share with others to start to show more, of course, came publications in magazines, interviews in TV, in radio, and very rapidly people liked this concept because it's so safe. By the way, it's 100% safe because here does not exist, I want to emphasize, does not exist any laser, soak feed, or candles, or hypnosis, wire or wireless machines, X-rays, or beverage drugs, or any stimulant or steams, vaporizations, absolutely nothing. Even nobody even touch the person. That is the person. Nobody, exists absolutely corporal privacy in this. Nobody will touch the person. Some people, they have a special religious beliefs, or because of their conditions, they don't want to be touched. Then persons, they can receive this treatment with their self-clothing on and their shoes on. Then this is wonderful because it's 100% safe, does not exist any side effect, and that's why it's possible. I obtained the first license to do this in the country, the insurance that covered the liability of something that was not even categorized in the country. And this is good because it's something safe. Even for children, I have received all the time children from 3.5 years and ahead.
That's amazing. And so I'm looking at your website, and down near the bottom, I was looking at all the different conditions, and it says
not just cancer.
Yeah, not just cancer. Cystic fibrosis, cystic bronchitis.
Yeah. In fact, there exists a very important Jewish community. Cystic fibrosis is one of the most iconic diseases that, in the point of view of traditional medicine, is genetic disorder, 100%, and affect especially to the Jewish community, based in a statistic, and affect especially children, of course, that they born with this condition, or they are diagnosed in the first 2-3 years of their life. And now it's possible. We don't believe, absolutely not, that is a condition genetic. It's caused once again by microorganisms, and now it's possible, to step aside of all this.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm looking here: fibromyalgia, arthritis, premature Alzheimer's disease, diabetes, renal failure, brain tumor, depression, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, lung diseases, muscular dystrophy. It's amazing. So is biomagnetism able to completely reverse these conditions, or simply make them a little bit more manageable?
Well, here we fall in the legal aspect of everything. It's not possible to say, this cure this, and this is the way, societies, they have decided to put tough regulation when it comes to say this cure this, require governmental legal certifications, and those are long journey, bureaucratic, that they are not exempt to have a tremendous oppositions if someone can well-found legal and attorney law offices could be delay any process of legalization or certification of any cure. Then that's why we don't have certification of any cure of cancer or any other because of the tremendous obstacle. Well, I can tell you that exists so many persons the same than me that we have stepped completely out from non-curable conditions, and but it does not exist the concept of warranty, and but the issue that is so safe makes the difference, because the person can step aside from surgical procedures and so invasive alternatives in traditional medicine. I think it's worth it, but of course it's up to each person.
Right, exactly. We have a question in our chat room. Kate, do you have that?
Yeah, it says, is biomagnetism therapy something that someone can learn and perform at home, or does it need to be performed by a licensed practitioner?
Yeah, well, I want to emphasize in this, like in any service, each person needs to screen a lot. I understand that persons always, they are looking which one is the nearby or the cheapest. But because this is new, first and nothing, even acupuncture took like around 40 years in United States to be really released into the society in a massively manner and to be acknowledged. And then anything that is new when it comes to healthcare is not something that will be introduced massively, that will be everywhere available in short period of time. At the same time, each person should try to avoid places that you go, to the house or persons that they work in their garage, etc., etc. Well, of course, the good thing of magnets is that they cannot harm the person. But, of course, the person could get at the end a little bit disappointed or to think that the system doesn't work. It works when it's made by persons professional, and the person needs to speak with the provider to see if he's knowledgeable in medicine, because many persons today's days, they will place magnet, they don't know what they are doing, but it's easy going and it's easier to confuse persons with something that is very new. Then sometimes it's much better to go to the official places.
Yeah, I understand. Is it possible to get magnets for yourself and use them at home, do you think?
I don't think so. It's a good choice. I don't think so. This, I can tell you, require many years of practice. Mm-hmm. It's not something too simple. The magnet is simple, but the theory is very complicated. At the same time, I want to emphasize that magnetic healing is something that is the use of magnet is something very antique. Even we could go back in time thousands of years, all the important cultures, they use it, and the important doctors in history, they have used for as a pain management or for inflammatory condition. And magnetic healing exists in U.S. for at least 40 years, but it's just to address pain and under no circumstance to address important conditions. Then for first time biomagnetism, but now with a new theory about using the same magnets, it's possible to really represent a good contender when it comes to traditional medicine.
So interesting. So what kind of magnets are you using? Are you using special magnets, or are they charged somehow in some special way, or?
No, they are natural, low-intensity magnets. Like, as I say, anybody can obtain them in stores. The magnet doesn't have anything special, really.
Mm.
It's the concept.
Right.
It's the biomagnetic pair, and it's the concept, what it does, the trick. It's how to use them.
It's interesting because magnets, does science even understand what magnets are doing when you put, two opposite polarized magnets together and they repel each other? Do we even understand the science yet behind what's going on there?
Well, traditional medicine doesn't understand about these things, but of course, the issue in the way I do things is to put it back, this pH as a neutral, which is the ideal pH for human being. And once we're in this sudden change of transference of hydrogen ions, because the magnetic fields, they do that. They transfer the ions from one organ to the other, because these are always two organs that they are involved. That's why the name biomagnetic pair. And then these two organs, they are exchanging hydrogen ions, making one to have too much, making acid, and the other lose all their hydrogen ions, becoming extremely alkaline. Once you place the magnet, all this hydrogen ion distribution go back to 50 and 50 perfect, and then become neutral. In that sudden change in environment, these small microorganisms, they don't resist, and then they die. And with that, the disease.
Isn't that wild? So if someone wanted to get some sort of training, or if they wanted to learn how to do this in their, either for their, for their family themselves or for other people, how would they do that?
They can search navigate in the website by the name of the doctor. He does courses about it in Mexico. His name is Isaac Goiz, Goiz.
Okay.
Isaac Goiz. His second last name is Duran, D as David, U-R-A as Ann, N as Nancy, Duran. And they are up here, his official website, and the calendar for their courses.
Wow. And so you can learn all about the science and what happens when you use the magnets and how to use the magnets correctly and all that stuff.
Absolutely. This is his idea. He all the time is giving seminars about it. But once again, it requires lots of knowledge and a lot of practice. Many persons, they believe, you just place it, this very simple. Well, to use it at home, of course, it's more than enough. But, just to work with persons with serious illness, medically diagnosed, of course not, require tremendous responsibility. And I have developed a very special treatment that is created by me. What I do in Magnetic Healing System, which is the name of my clinic, is something created by me through the years. I have taken these original theories and make it something very reliable at the point that if they go inside 10 persons, the 10 they will get it, and not just one. And really with results and survivals extraordinary.
Do you think it would be something that people could use as a preventative for certain things?
Oh, absolutely. This is one of the issues that persons, in fact, many persons, they are taking these courses to use in themselves and in their families. And of course, in my opinion, is the best way to prevent cancer that is caused by microorganisms. And maybe 98% of all human diseases, in diabetes, you name it, if you you reduce the viral load and the microorganism load from your body, of course you are preventing in the next 10, 20 years to fall into cancer and so many other diseases.
Wow. So, Maria, if somebody comes and visits your clinic for treatments, how long does a typical treatment session last for? Is it an hour or?
Well, I have what I do is something very tailoring. It's like, to say, comparing wedding gowns. The one is in the hanger, and the other is tailoring, custom made for one person. Of course, it's more costly, natural, because it's exclusive, made for just one person, and that's why it's the effectivity. When a person believes that with one magic touch, or in 30 minutes or 10 minutes, you can get cured from all your diseases, it's extremely fantasy. I have developed a treatment that is based in 5 basic sessions. Each session is more than 3 hours, and we are talking about a total of maybe more than 18 hours. And of course, alternative medicine is not covered by insurance policies, then of course it's costly. Any alternative medicine serious treatment is costly in United States. Well, it's the way societies, they have decided only traditional medicine should be covered by insurance, making all the alternative medicine completely out of pocket and only being reached by a small percentage of the society, is the way it is. But it's very dedicated, but at the same time, persons. In fact, in my website exists a video of a person that got medically diagnosed of prostatic cancer at 49 years old. He was diagnosed in 2009, and the video appeared there. His biopsy is not a model or a paid person. Right there in the video appeared his medical diagnosis and his biopsy positive in a very prestigious institution in Santa Barbara. And the video has been recorded 3 years after he got cured in my clinic from prostatic cancer, with 35% of the entire sample consistent in tumor. And today's days, of course, is beyond 5 years. years since then with no reoccurrence, and he never did anything about traditional medicine. He didn't do the prostatectomy, which is the removal of the organ, or chemo, radio, absolutely nothing.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm looking at all your different books here, The Tumor Phenomenon and Experiences of Healing in 2006. Looks like you've written quite a few books as well.
Oh, absolutely. He has been published by very important universities in Latin American countries. He is already a very, very famous person, I can tell you.
That's amazing. Wow.
And but as I say, it's something that is a beginning in U.S., but require lots of experience. I want to advise people that to screen the maximum the person that they will choose, not because it's harmful like other things, but because of the effectiveness, of course.
Right, right. You want to make sure you're going to someone reputable. So if someone wants to learn more about this therapy and they want to perhaps use it on themselves or for other people, they could just contact you on your website?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and then they can make these courses, and in fact, if a person wants to do it at home after to be trained by him, I think it's a wonderful idea. I think more and more people are getting empowerment to do or to have devices at home in order not to be absolutely dependable from the traditional medicine centers or hospitals in order to have some help. Then no doubt, even without to be an expert, since the very beginning, I am sure it's a tremendous help to have this at home.
Yes, good stuff. Well, thank you so much.
So interesting. Thank you, Maria.
Yeah, thank you so much for spending some time and telling everyone about your story and the power of biomagnetism and magnets in general. I appreciate that a lot.
Well, I want to thank you to you, Kate, and Justin, and ExtremeHealthRadio.com for this invitation and these wonderful moments with you guys. And, of course, to say goodbye to all the listeners and today. And, of course, I hope everybody sponsor your project to help people, to empower people to support your radio, of course, because everybody should support places like yours. In fact, I read many of the emails that you receive all the time, how so many persons, they feel empowered, and thanks to your information, they have found out that exists other things.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria.
Yeah, that's our goal, is to empower people with as many different options as possible. And so I know that's your goal as well, and I'm just so glad that you're out there doing the work that you're doing and letting people know about this relatively unknown therapy. So this is good. This is great stuff.
Yeah, you will hear more and more, and maybe at the end, everybody will have a few magnets at home and place it all the time. For flu, for so many things at home, for children, it's so practical, and start to die down the symptoms immediately.
Oh, that's good, yeah. Would biomagnetism also work on perhaps like sports injuries and things like that?
Absolutely, for inflammation, in fact, is one of the best wonders. You feel pain. Even many of the practitioners, they have the magnets in the car. They travel even in everywhere. They cannot be without their small magnets, because this is something simple. It's just $2 each one. You can imagine.
So simple.
What it can really cure is the concept. The device exists since always, and it's plenty available, and it's so cheap. But it's the new concept, how to use it. As I say, the biomagnetic pair concept, where microorganisms always, they live in the exact same place as soon as they go into the body. Then, for first time, it's like, American troops, they found Bin Laden in one of his address, in one of his houses.
Right.
Oh, well, this is exactly the same. Now we can find Bin Laden because of the place that is located. And he developed like 250 different biomagnetic pairs where are distributed all the families of bacteria, viruses, parasites. Now it's possible to identify them because of the place that they are located.
That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Well, thank you so much for your knowledge and sharing all this good stuff with us. I really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you so much, Kate and Justin, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. And Maria, stay on the line because we're going to sign off the live show here. So hold tight if you could, and we're just going to say goodbye to our live listeners, I just want to thank everyone for joining us and being on the live show. It's really great to have all of you guys in the chat room. It makes it so much more fun and interactive with us and the guests and everybody. So we appreciate that. Don't forget to check out our show tomorrow, which will be the Free for All Friday show, which will be live, and all of our shows next week and ongoing at 9 a.m. Pacific on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And this is episode 267. And so I'll put all the links in this show page. So please pass it on to your friends and anyone who you know that might be able to benefit from biomagnetic healing. So pass this on to your friends if you can. And I want to thank all you guys for being on the show. We really appreciate it. And we'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Well,
thank you, Maria. We appreciate your support.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, you.
Maria.
You too.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye, Kate. Bye-bye, Justin. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Another one in the can, Kate.
You love that new term. Now that you're in, quote, the business.
I'm in the business.
The radio business.
The radio business. That was a pretty fun show, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
really. There's so many therapies out there.
Yeah, I know.
True.
Interesting.
I know, right?
Yeah.
She had a lot of knowledge. Very smart woman.
Yeah, so let me see if I can recount what she said and see if I understood her correctly. The magnets are affecting the pH of the cells near where the virus is, and then the virus, as a result of the affected pH, lose their DNA or lose their ability to feed and replicate.
Reproduce. Mm-hmm.
And then when they can't reproduce, then the cells that they're in or try to infect end up dying. Is that the...
That sounds right to me.
Kind of
It's a
idea?
good recap.
I think that's pretty much what she said.
And I think it's, I'd love to know a little bit more how the therapy, I'm going to have to watch one of the videos, but is it that they're placing the magnets on specific places? Like if you had a liver problem, they're putting it on your liver? Or if you have breast cancer, they're putting it on the breast? Is that where the magnets know to target that specific area? Like you said, it's changing the pH of just that area. Or is it changing it the whole body?
The whole blood and all that.
The whole system.
That's a good question.
We'll have to do some research here.
Yeah, because it sounds like it's very important as to where you put the magnets, because, some of our guests will talk about how the meridian systems, if you pull a tooth, then your knee will feel better, or vice versa. If you do something to your knee, you can feel it in your tooth. And so there's this whole meridian system in the body. But I think that with this particular thing, because it seems like it's changing the pH right there locally in that certain spot, I think that's why it's important to maybe make sure you place the magnets in the right place.
And I agree with her. I think that's what she's talking about. Like anybody can go get $2 magnets and use them to prevent colds and flus and use them on your body daily. I'm sure you're preventing a lot of things, but I agree when she's talking about when it comes to major diseases and struggles that people have and challenges with their health, that you probably do need to see someone like her. It's important where you place them, I believe. And I'm assuming that in a treatment, especially if it's lasting up to 3 hours or so, for specific issues, that she's moving the magnets around and doing different things. So maybe it's like Reiki, where they're moving certain kinds of energies and even in biomagnetism, they're moving stuff at different times because stuff might be changing and maybe
so weird.
Morphing a little bit in order to help assist the body in healing itself.
Assist the body. That's right, because biomagnetism can't do anything, right?
Right. We're not saying that and we're not claiming it, but
the only people that can heal
the body
is the medical system.
And God.
And God.
And if anybody wants to come against that, then you have a bigger guy to deal with.
It's funny because we had a guest on, Professor Ron Kusan, a while back, who has this really interesting little contraption called, I think he calls it the Volixer. And it's like this charged cube that they produce for your Vitamix blender or for your Blend Tech, and it's got a specific magnets on all four sides of it, and when you blend things up, it charges the food that you drink. And then I don't have one, but I'd like to get one. It sounds pretty interesting. And then Peter Ragnar over at roaringlyingpublishing.com sells magnetic mattress pads.
What?
Yeah, and he also has, I was telling you during the break, he's got those magnets that you put on your shower head. So all the water that comes through in your shower is magnetized. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if those are good or bad or what, but if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you can check out SNC.com. I'll put a link to that. essencec.com. And then Peter Ragnar's website as well. We'll put that on this show page, episode 267.
Well, I'd have to say if it's good enough for Peter, it's good enough for me.
I know, right?
I love that guy.
And he does crazy. We sell a Qigong course. I think we ran an ad for that during this broadcast. But he sells a Qigong class, and he's got magnetic thunderballs, like
that's right.
5,000 Gauss. I don't even know what that means, but it's like some incredible... Gauss is the term that they use to determine how strong a magnet is.
That sounds pretty gnarly.
Yeah, 5,000
I'm not going to mess with it.
Magnets, but he does Qigong under the moonlight with these magnets.
Oh, to be Peter Ragnar.
I know, right? Howling at the moon.
That's awesome. Beating his chest, swinging on the vines through the jungle.
Isn't that wild?
I love people that are, I don't know, just outside the box, different, trying things. It works for people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. That Qigong course, I'll put a link to that too if you're interested in that Qigong course, episode 267. We'll put the link to that. But pretty amazing stuff. I just think it's
I'm
so
grateful
cool.
for Maria and the work she's doing. And to be the first one to really bring it here and set up a clinic and be able to really help people. I'm sure she's seen some amazing stories,
I know, right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I got to watch the video after this.
Yeah, totally cool. All right, so this is episode 267. Thank you all for joining us. We'll put all the links to everything that we talked about in this show page. And don't forget to check out our upcoming shows. Let me just read that again. Tomorrow we have our Free For All Friday show. Then on Monday we've got Robert von Sarbacher, who developed this really interesting cleansing protocol, called the Mini Beat Protocol. Very fascinating. Then Tom Benedict, he'll be talking about healing with stones and energetic medicine. And then Adam Bergstrom, who is the founder of Sun Sync Nutrition and Eating on Time, which is a very fascinating subject. He's one of the most fascinating guys in the world. He's just amazing. So that's all next week. So
and I can't believe we get to speak with him.
I know, right?
This life is pretty wild.
It's
the
pretty
things
cool.
you never thought you'd be doing.
I know. It's just amazing.
I love it.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please pass the show on to your friends, and please remember, if you can, to buy through our link on Amazon. And then if you want to send us a donation, there's a donate button, and we accept donations. We're so grateful for those of you that do that. And then also we have a store on our website with all kinds of really great products, like the Nutrex, like the spirulina and the astaxanthin that we ran the ad for, with the Bellicon rebounders, saunas, all kinds of cool things in our store. So check that out.
Check it out. Be there or be square.
Be there or be square. So yeah.
No, we have some really great items and
good stuff. And a brand new app on our website on extremehealthradio.com/live, which I'm still tinkering with, but you're going to be able to listen to every single episode right on one page, all of our past shows on one page.
The only thing that could beat that?
And share it and download it. What's that?
Is if you came up with an app where you could have all the information and just plug it into your body and just download it into your brain.
Like the Matrix?
Can you go ahead and do that? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That's like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Remember that guy, he wanted to figure out, or that girl wanted to learn how to fly a helicopter?
Trinity.
Oh, yeah. My mistake.
She's downloaded that, and there you go. I'm all of a sudden a helicopter pilot.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yes. But wouldn't that be awesome if we could do that? But since we can't, this new app seems like an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Amazing tool.
That's on the live show page, so extremehealthradio.com/live, and you can do that. We're still tinkering with it right now. It's only showing the last 30 shows, so I'm trying to figure out how to get it to show all of the shows.
It's a work in progress. You'll do it.
It's a work in progress. So that's about it. We're going to go have some fun, right?
Yep. Let's go.
Go do something fun.
Love you guys.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you on
We'll catch you on the next episode.
There you go. Look at that.
You caught me off guard. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to this episode.
It's time to go for now, but our mission does not end with this show.
Justin and Kate will be back with another interview packed full of ideas, discoveries, and unique ways to regain your health.
Head on over to extremehealthradio.com/subscribe and instantly download our free gift too that contains cutting-edge strategies to start making healthy lifestyle changes today.
No material on this blog is intended to suggest that you should not seek professional medical care. Always work with qualified medical professionals, even if you educate yourself in the field of live food, nutrition, and alternative medicine. I'm not a doctor, nor am I offering readers medical advice of any kind. None of the information offered here should be interpreted as a diagnosis of any disease, nor an attempt to treat or prevent any disease or condition. While information in this blog is discussed in the context of numerous conditions, it can be dangerous to take action